It's officially May! Yippee! I know what that means. That means my channel has been active now for a whole month. A whole month. A whole month I've managed to get videos out every single day. And I cannot tell you how difficult that actually has been. I now completely understand why most YouTubers go for like 2 videos a week tops. Because, anyway, hi guys, I'm Roxie Rose. As I'm sure you already know, because I say it in the beginning of every single video, you know. I'd like to say thanks to everyone who's new here. Hi. As well as to like the 28 people who have been sticking with me since, I don't know, I started my channel, what, 4 years ago? 5 years ago? Oof. If you're still here, hi. Thanks for holding on. No idea why. My channel was dead for a very long time. But now it is alive again. Yes, and I plan on keeping it alive. This started as a quarantine thing because I had nothing else to do, but honestly I'm quite enjoying it actually. I didn't think I would because I'm more of the person who likes watching other people play video games than actually playing them myself, but yeah, I don't know, it's funny how, you know, not being able to go outside puts things into perspective. All of a sudden I have time, you know. And what better way to spend my time than playing video games and recording it for you guys? Yeah. Yeah, so a lot's happened this month. I've got, you know, a new recording software. I've had to learn Adobe Premiere Pro off nothing. I had no clue how to use that software at the start of this month. Now I do. Thank heavens. It's not as difficult as I thought it was. But yeah, I have a couple of odd YouTube videos I have to default to every so often just to check. I've also started messing around with Adobe Audition since I released Lego Harry Potter, I think, because I was trying to edit that in Premiere Pro only, and that was hell. Don't ever do that. Audition, I like that software. Apparently Audition wasn't actually coded by Adobe, it was coded by a different company that Adobe then took over, and that's why it works so well. Not that I'm blasting Adobe or anything, but I kind of am. Anyway, my dad programs software. That's kind of his whole thing. So we feel like we're justified when we attack like Adobe stuff. We know what we're talking about. Well, I don't. He does. Anyway, yeah. What else did I get? Oh, I got a new microphone, didn't I? I got a new microphone, a new recording software, and I got a nice, you know, melting wax candle for my room just to make things smell nice in here because I'm trapped in here all day. And my room, or this room in particular, is like a box thing. I have lived in this box since my brother was born because, you know, second children get priority bedrooms. He got the bigger room. I got the closet. It's fine. It's fine. But yeah, I'm used to being in here anyway. It's fun. Was there a point to this video? No, not really. I'm just going to sit here and ramble at you all because it's, the end of a month. And I figured that rambling in a video at the end of the month is kind of better than me just releasing, you know, one video after another. And also, I need a break. Like, recording and editing a video every single day of a month is hard. Like, I never appreciated how hard it actually was. And obviously, loads of the big YouTubers said this ages ago. I remember watching Markiplier say it, that he couldn't do a video a day anymore. And at the time, it was like, oh, okay, I don't really get it. But, you know, now I'm in this position. It's like, yeah, I totally understand, man. And you get tired so easily doing this, especially if you're doing everything yourself like I am. Like, by the end of the day, the last thing I want to do is design a thumbnail. Stab it. It's fine. Anyway, yeah, hi to everyone who's new, to everyone who doesn't know me. I hope you're enjoying my channel, whatever the hell it is I'm doing. I have a lot of games that I want to play in the future. As said, I think in a couple of my other videos, I mentioned I've got a load of Lego games that I really want to go through, including some that I've never played before. Like, I've never played The Hobbit, I've got it on my computer for some reason, and I just never got around to playing it. And I've got Marvel Superheroes as well. I don't even remember when I got that. And I've got the next Lego Star Wars as well, the newer one. Yeah, I've got quite a few of those games to do. I promised I'd play The Witch's House, which I will get around to eventually, but I have to get through Corpse Party first. And then it's down to whether I want to continue the Corpse Party franchise or not, because I do have Sweet Sachiko's Ever After Party or something. I've never actually played that one either, but I do have it. I've also got a couple of other games. I think I've got Mad Father somewhere. Now, I have to emphasise the somewhere. There are loads of games on my computer that I just either bought or were given and I just never played. I just never got around to it. So I've got lots of games like that I need to play. I've also got loads of like free horror games that Steam keeps recommending me now that I've played a few. But yeah, do you guys want to see me play anything in particular? If you want, you can just put it down below. As I said, I'm open to playing pretty much anything at this moment. I mean, I've also played some of those really ridiculous dating simulators. I've played Pigeon Simulator. That was a funny one. That was a good one. I couldn't sit through that KFC one, the Colonel Sanders one. I just couldn't. I couldn't even watch somebody else play that. That one was too on the edge of cringe. At least with the pigeon one, it was like, it was obvious satire, and I just, yeah. There's something about overly dramatized anime pictures that sometimes I just can't do it. I just can't. Yes. I'm sure lots of you notice I do reference anime quite a bit in my gaming videos, and for everyone who hasn't followed me from, well, everyone who wasn't the original 28 people who followed me from my original channel was a sewing and anime type discussion thing. I don't know, it was horribly inconsistent. I was running it while I was at university and I had, exams and paperwork and massive bouts of social anxiety, so I just wasn't consistent at all, which is honestly why I stopped doing YouTube in the first place. I just didn't think I could do it. I had this big thing about talking to people. Like, people terrify me, honestly. I'm not... You will never find me in a crowded room. Like, I am that person who is in the corner slowly backing out the door. That is me. Like, and if I'm ever the centre of attention, I will probably try and talk my way out of the conversation as fast as possible or divert attention to somebody else. So yeah, running a channel for me is new and different and exciting, but also terrifying. So yes. I have a bad habit of taking things personally, and I am going to try not to do that, because it's YouTube and it's the internet, and you can't take things seriously on the internet, because if you do, then you're going down a dark rabbit hole and you'll never ever resurface from that hole. I went into a place there. Anyway, yes. Yeah, I do have somebody who does my marketing for me. She's wonderful. She's a wonderful, wonderful woman. Anyway, she also does my comments. Like, she vets everything. She audits the channel, so like you can't say certain words on my channel. She takes care of all that for me, and honestly, it's a blessing for somebody like me, because yeah, those of you with social anxiety and probably borderline depression will know, like, it could be like any word can just set you off, and you just like, you're miserable then for a whole day, and then you can't be productive. In fact, sometimes you can be miserable for a whole week and nothing happens. Like, I do not want that to happen to me, especially if I'm running a channel. So yeah, I do have somebody who vets and audits my channel. So if you ever get like replies and comments from me, please note that sometimes they're not always from me, they're from her. She's a lovely, lovely woman. And she helps me with all my videos anyway, so she's really involved. So yeah. I do reply personally as well to some comments, but I don't know how often I will be able to do that. Especially with this whole video a day thing, I tend to find like I've got no hours left. And then I have, at the moment, like this past month, I've had like terrible insomnia. Like 2 days ago, I went to bed at 6 in the morning And that is not for lack of trying. Like, I went to bed at 11 at night and stared at my ceiling till 6 in the morning. It was actual hell. Actual hell. I got 1 hour of sleep between like 1 and 2 a.m. And then I was up, awake, staring at the ceiling until 6. And I heard everyone else in the house get out of bed, and it was like, why? And then, of course, I fell asleep. And then next door decided to do their decking, which is like, you know, the sander on the wood and the banging and everything. And then I was up and it's like, oh, I don't want to be alive, but I'm alive and I'm awake. Oh. Anyway, I've had insomnia for like a month. No, 2 months. 2 months now. Yeah. Problem is, my dad has insomnia as well. But between the two of us, he obviously works from home at the moment. So he gets all the insomnia medication that we have. Because our local shops at the moment, our local pharmacies are out of insomnia medication. I don't know what it is about lockdown, but everyone's buying insomnia medication. So there's only enough for either me or my dad. And my dad has to get priority, which is totally fine because, you know, he pays the bills and everything. You know, I'm barely paying my own way at the moment. But that's like, you know, first world problems. Oh, gosh. It's fine. It's fine. I can't, you know, get another job until lockdown is over, which, you know, sucks. But, you know, what can you do? YouTube, apparently. This is my job now. Anyway, on to, like, lighter topics. Yeah, what to know about my channel. I have 3 cats, which you've probably seen in and out of my videos. Maple and Walnut will be the 2 you see the most often. I think Maple's behind me somewhere. Probably. He's just that blob of orange in the corner up there. Because this is like the cat bed. They're so used to just being here. Close. Thank you. So, yeah. Maple and Walnut you'll see quite a lot in nearly all of my videos, though they'll either be in the background or you'll might hear a meow off to the right side of me, particularly from Maple. Maple is like a cat that should have been a dog. Yeah, he's really needy and he likes playing with you and he talks to you and he follows you around the house a lot and he doesn't like being on his own for too long. He's honestly like a small dog. He's a nightmare, but a lovable nightmare. And, you know, he sleeps on my face at night, so yeah. That's my fault. I trained him to go onto the bed and we had to train them, like all 3 of them, to be like in separate rooms. Especially with Ash, she's our smallest, she's our only girl. And the 2 boys had this really bad habit of picking on her. Especially Maple. Maple has this thing about, I must be in charge of Ash at all times. So we've had to like separate them all. So Maple is trained to come to me. Walnut is trained to go to my mum and dad's bedroom. And Ash is trained to kind of have the rest of the house to herself. She gets choice. She can go upstairs, downstairs, my brother's room. It's all up to her. Sometimes she ends up in my drawers as well. Like, I never notice when she gets in there, but she's in there. Yeah, you won't see Ash in probably any of my videos. She doesn't come into my room too often. But all 3 of my cats are Maine Coons. So they're big, fluffy things. They are crossbreeds. So Maple's got more of like a short, thick fuzz. There. I could talk about my cats all day. I love my cats so much. Like 90% of my channel like references cats at some point. I do have an accent as well that I've noticed while I've been recording these videos and actually, like, you know, editing them. You don't realise how much of an accent you actually have until you edit your own videos and listen to yourself. Like, I didn't realise how many letters of the English language I omit from my words. And I don't know if that's just a Yorkshire thing, if it's just like, oh yeah, we're just going to get rid of a total, you know, all the T's and the S's and everything. We're just, gone. Let's see if you can make sense of a nonsensical language. Oh, I'm just grateful I don't use too much slang. I mean, my parents, especially my mum, she's partially deaf anyway. She won't admit it. You know, she doesn't want a hearing aid or anything. She will claim till the cows come home that her hearing is perfect, but it isn't. But because she's partially deaf, I have to pronounce everything and like talk a lot slower than I normally would, and that's the only way she can hear me. So I'm actually glad I have for that experience because I've been trying to do that in my videos, and I don't know if it's noticeable or not. I mean, it's obviously noticeable to me because I know I'm doing it. So I don't know. What do you guys think? Should I keep trying to pronounce my words properly, or should I just give in to the accent and the lisp that comes with it? I mean, I noticed I have a lisp, but man, it's worse than I thought it was. I think part of it's just nervousness in front of a camera, to be honest. I noticed that my lisp is getting better the more videos I do. So I think it was more of a nerves thing, but yeah, it's hard to say, isn't it, really? I can't really say anything about the about the lisp. It'll come back, it'll disappear. Yeah, tit for tat, nothing I can do about it, really. Especially when I'm reading. It's really bad when I'm reading. Oh, when I'm reading, that's really strange to me, because I used to read to like year 7s and everything like that. I never had a lisp during that time. And I used to read at university as well. I did marketing, so you've got to read out loud for loads of presentations and stuff like that. And it was like, the one comment I used to get was like, "Oh yeah, she's very clear and concise." It's like, well, I don't sound clear and concise in any of my videos now, so I have lost that ability. Oh, it's dreadful, isn't it? How are you guys doing then? During lockdown. Anything interesting? Anything interesting in other people's lives? There must be something, because, I have, like, no friends. I haven't spoken to a single one of my friends. Well, not face to face, obviously, anyway, or even over, like, Skype or anything. My brother's girlfriend called me from Italy. Hi, Elisa! Yeah, she's the only one who bothered. Yeah. So it's always like, oh yes, I have one friend in Italy who called me. But, other than that, I don't really talk to my friends all that much. And I was like, I never realised, like, how little I actually do talk to them. But I'm such a loner. I'm so used to just, like, being on my own and, talking to myself. I talk to myself a lot. Like, it's probably not healthy, but I do talk to myself a lot. I think it's just a loner thing. Like, you've got no one to bounce ideas off of, so you have to bounce them off yourself. Yeah, it might just be a loner thing. Anyway. But yeah, I should really go and like talk to some of my friends. Do you know what? I used to do video collaborations with Lolpot like 4 years ago, back when we were in university together. And I swear down, the only reason I used to collab with her was because I lived with her. It was like 90% of what we did was her decision. I need someone like that back in my life again. I need someone to make these decisions for me. We're just like, do something outside of your comfort zone. Go outside. Go talk to somebody. Say hello to a neighbour across the street. I don't even talk to my neighbours. How bad am I? It makes me feel better that my mum doesn't either. She says I get it all from her, which I probably do. And then my dad doesn't talk to my neighbours, actually. No, my dad doesn't talk to my neighbours either. None of my family do. I think out of all of us, my brother's the most sociable. That's a scary thought. Update schedule for next month. About the video a day thing. I'm going to try. I will be trying to keep that up. Emphasis on trying. The thing is, what I'm kind of finding now is that the more games I do, the less into them I can get. So when I first started the channel, I started on Bioshock with the, awful camera mic off my webcam, and the fact that I didn't know what I was doing in Premiere Pro, and you can tell because the audio levels are completely wrong. And I might go back to that video and see if I can edit it, especially now that I've been into Audition. And I know that Audition can separate the audio tracks, because when I first filmed Bioshock, I filmed it all on one audio track. I now know to separate them, so I have like the game music and background sounds and then my voice underneath, so then I can get different levels without relying on Audition for anything like complicated. But at the start I didn't know how to do that, so, you know, it is what it is. But yeah, I started with that, and because I was like filming the series all the way through, regardless of the fact that Bioshock crashed every 5 minutes, which is why eventually I stopped playing it. I do plan on going back to it, but I think I might start over, and I think I might go back to the original Bioshock, not the remastered version. You tell me what you guys think about that. Do you want me to go back and play it again? Because I'll leave the remastered version on here because it's like a, you know, this is where I've come from thing. This is where I started, and in a month I've made this much progress then. And sometimes I need to see the progress personally that I've made, just so I feel like I'm going somewhere. Or like, you know, I'm having success. I don't know. I feel like I'm learning something. Anyway, let me know if you want me to actually play Bioshock all the way through. If you really do, then I will restart it and I'll play the original non-remastered version that doesn't crash every 15 minutes. So then I can actually get into it. But yeah, I'm thinking of playing games almost all the way through before I start the next one, because that way I can kind of get into the game and I enjoy it more, and I find that I talk more when I do that, because the last thing you want to see me doing in a video is getting bored of the game or getting frustrated because it's taking too long, which, you know, I was kind of starting to feel like that at the end of Faust Outrum, because I was just playing too many games at once. I do have a new Tomb Raider series which is coming out. I think, is one of the videos out yet? No, it won't be. It'll be coming out soon. It'll be coming out really soon. That'll be Shadow of the Tomb Raider. That's the next one. I've never actually played that game, so all my reactions are like first time reactions. I'm not playing something I've, you know, watched or seen before. So I'm having a load of fun playing that one, and I am trying to play it all the way through in like a bulk go. I might do the same with Lego Harry Potter, but I don't know. We'll have to see. That took a lot of work in Audition. Did that to edit, but I kind of enjoyed it. It was like it was a learning experience, because that's the first time I've ever touched Audition, but it was, yeah, quite enjoyable. So we'll see what I plan to do with that. But yeah, so I said I'm going to try to keep with the heavy upload schedule, I suppose it is, but please don't be surprised if I miss a day here or there. The one thing I've learnt this month is I desperately need breaks in between things, if only for my mental health. And when the sun's shining outside as well, you know, it's England, we don't get much sun. When it's out, we got to enjoy it. You know, like when I stayed up till 6 a.m, the best thing that I did the next day was just get a deck chair outside and sleep in the sunshine. I mean, oh, that's the best decision ever. And I was really struggling today to wondering what I was going to do. I mean, today it's raining, so, you know, typical British weather. I can't do anything today, so I decided to edit 2 videos today for some reason. And the first video was fine, and then by the time I got to the second video, it was like, oh my god, I don't want to edit this. But I do have very slight OCD. It's not terrible. It's not as bad as my dad's. But I have like certain things that I can't leave something when I start. It's such a nervous tick to leave it. It's so difficult to leave it. Oh, I cannot explain. I have a thing about symmetry as well. Like, it's really silly, but there's an apple tree we have outside, and my dad has this thing about trees. If we have trees in our garden, then they have to be in like a specific area of the garden so that they don't cast shade over the garden, which makes sense. So this apple tree we've got, it's designed so that we can kind of train it where to grow. So we're kind of training it to grow like sideways instead of up. But there was one branch that we kind of pulled it around to the left, and it made the whole tree tilt to the left, and I could leave it for about 2 days before I mentioned it to my mother. I was like, Mum, it's really bothering me. It's bothering me that the tree is tilted. Can we straighten the tree? It's so dumb. It's so dumb. I just can't leave it. So this morning it's like the tree's been in the ground for about a week. You know, it's been longer than a week. It's about 2 weeks. 2 weeks. This has been bothering me for 2 weeks. Oh my god. It's been bothering me for 2 weeks. Anyway, we had to wait for it to settle for it to be happy before we moved it again. And it's finally got all these nice pink flowers all over it. It's lovely. But yeah, this morning we finally like moved the branch, and then my mum started to bend it the other way, which was straighten the tree out, and we heard the crack, and it was like, oh, we can't do it. We can't touch it. So at the moment we've had to leave it. So the tree's still tilted, but now it's got one branch, singular branch that goes up, it sort of goes up and round, and then these tiny little branches that go on the side, and it's bugging me. But we've got to leave it for another week. It needs to calm down and be happy again, so that it becomes flexible again, and then we can bend it the other way without it cracking. It's silly things like that. Does anyone else have OCD? Does anyone else understand this? Because I know it's not just me. People have this, you know. My neighbour across the street, he's got a more, like, severe version of it, because he, like, checks his door handle 3 times and checks his garage handle 3 times and his car door handles 3 times. Everything in threes. You know. Mine's more, like, silly little things like that, and, like, collectibles. I have to collect things, like in games. I've noticed I have to do that. I was terrible when I was younger with Lego sets, because I'd want to separate the colours. Don't give me things like that. Pencils as well. My art supplies is always separated into colours. I have this thing. And I can't do white. Something about the colour white. There cannot be a colour white. There cannot be white. Nothing can be white. Yeah. Oh, I was a nightmare at uni, because my bedroom wall, you can't change the wall colour at universities. You can't touch it. And it's white. Oh. I just wanted to cover it. So I had like all these posters, there's anime posters and everything, and I covered my wall, everything. The worst was when I used to go to art class, and we had to do, it was like a charcoal drawing. And it was where you cover the page in charcoal, and then you'd use the eraser to take the charcoal away to create an image. And then the paper underneath was white. I couldn't do it. I just couldn't do it. It's such a strange thing. It's such a weird thing. I just couldn't do it. Anyway. I don't know why you all needed to know that. I'm just rambling because I want to kill, a couple more minutes. Yeah. What haven't I talked about? I wonder what people want to know when you do these things. What do you guys want to know about me? Tell me. I will answer your questions, because I have nothing better to do with my time. I am bored stupid. So, yes, when I'm not editing videos, recording videos, or lying outside in the sun, I will be answering whatever questions you guys want me to answer. Yeah. Yeah, I said, just let me know things, whatever, in the comments down below. Say hi to everybody for me. Hello. It is very nice to meet you all. I will try to respond to comments, at least on this video, personally. But as said, if you do get somebody else replying, it is my wonderful secretary. She's wonderful. So, yeah. She will say nice things to you. And she always reports to me anyway, so I hear and see what everybody says. It's not like there's a massive barrier between me and my own comments section, but So yeah, happy lockdown, everybody. Hope you're all doing okay, or at least, aren't going completely and utterly insane. And I guess I'll see you all in the next video. Thanks for sticking around. Bye!